we had, from the morning sessions, we had about the digitization. We cannot avoid this. It's with us, and as they say, data is the new oil. So I want to call my friend, Mohammed, to come and take us through. I believe we've heard about the digital superhighway and what Rupha is doing in terms of catching up with the data and the digital revolution. Karibu Mahmoud. A round of applause for Mohammed. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Let me just set up quickly.
Good afternoon. Please feel free to move to the front seats. Feel at liberty to move to the front seats as Mohammed is setting up. Tafadhali, move to the front seats. Maybe we can have an energizer from our entertainers as we are finding the highway. We are getting to the highway in a few. Our choir.
1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right. We'll give you a number as they try to sort out technology. 1, 2. 2. Two. And go.
Feel free to join us if you enjoy. I am deeply worried at heart. I am deeply worried at heart. Cause the girl I love so well, my friend has snatched from me. Now I really don't know what to do but to hug my head and cry, oh my lovely Elizabeth, my sweet Elizabeth.
Enega. Rupha chua. Babi.
Enakeya kenge monoma. Enakeya kenge monoma. Kaire tunyendetse monoma. Karahuri woderotire. Reudio egororanako. Reudio egwekatia ejo ekamba dehite. Joy kamba dehite.
Kamata. Thank you. Okay, no problem. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Pole kwa hitilafu ya mitambo, but we are back or not. You need to come back, I think.
Yeah, it's there now. It's there now. Just the connection.
All right.
Here we are. Leave it there.
I think we need an afternoon prayer.
Our entertainers, please continue. I think the dance is calling you back. As we try to sort it out, tafadhali.
Okay, due to public demand, not technology.
Yes. And if it's public demand, let's stand and join them and encourage them.
Oh, yeah.
I know we've enjoyed our lunch.
Be a nice way of...
Tafadhali, please just stand and stretch. Someone told me sitting is the next smoking.
Oh yeah, it's true. Kindly stand up.
Yes,
so
stand up, tafadhali.
Maybe it can be the magic that will work, huh?
Daisy,
kindly.
Simama, you should even be here encouraging us.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So feel free. This whole place has been paid for, so don't be scared to move around. Tenda kwa. Oh yeah, twende safari,
All right, shake it off. Shake it off, eh? Shake it off.
Oh ya safari ya mama ni macheo.
Follow the dance moves. Don't be too serious. Lunch. Shake kidogo. Safari, yeah. Safari ya mama ni machero. Safari ya mama ni machero. If you can, wherever you are, let's do this. Safari ya mama ni machero. Pole tu. Hapo tu. Homse. Homse. Safari ya bamba ni mache. Safari ya safari ya bamba ni machero. Safari ya bamba ni machero. Safari ya bamba ni machero. I love it. Tikisa. Tikisa. Gari la baba. Vuteni kamba. Shika kamba. Baba. Vuta mkubwa. Nenda Mombasa. Fika salama. Vuteni kamba. Gari la baba. Oh, vuteni kamba. Vuta kamba. Gari la baba. Unaweza wezunguni yero kategewa babani muzima.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We may be seated. Technology has responded.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Nilikuwa nafikiria mnavuta Rupha soft. Kwa cloud. Nimefika. Sawa, thank you. Thank you guys. So, my name is Mohamud Amin Ali. I'm the CTO for Rupha and the lead for Rupha Soft project. Some of you may have heard of Rupha Soft, some of you may have not. So today I'm doing a presentation for everyone's benefit, for those who have heard and for those who haven't. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Rupha Soft. Nothing. So essentially, what you're seeing is more or less, similar to what Rupha Soft is. What you're seeing on the left is a superstructure. A superstructure basically has space that you can use to define functions. It can be a restaurant, it can be a hospital, it can be a commercial space or any other. And what you're seeing on the right is a finished building. Straight out of that superstructure, you obtain a very nice finished building. So Rupha Soft essentially is an open plan framework that we can build on top of. When you guys were coming in today, you are registering through Rupha Soft. You are also being directed to register as a member through Rupha Soft. We have built Rupha backend from Rupha Soft. So the possibilities of building a lot of things on top of Rupha Soft are endless. It's a very extensible framework that we can use to even run Afya Bora. We can use to run the basic HMIS that we are calling Rupha Soft, and many other things. Rupha Soft has become synonymous with the HMIS, but Rupha Soft is more than that. It's extensible, it can adopt, it can grow, as you will see in a short bit. So Rupha Soft is a multi-purpose building. That's what I wanted to show you here. Thank you. So what makes up of Rupha Soft? What is Rupha Soft? It's in the cloud. It's a service that is served from the clouds. Many of you may have heard of cloud, but what is cloud? So essentially cloud is, a grouped up specialized computer, interconnected. They share resources to do a specific service, to do a specific purpose. So Ruphasoft is built in the cloud. Our infrastructure is based on Kubernetes. It's a funny word, but it carries a lot of significance. Kubernetes is the technology of today. You've heard of AI. Some of us here are tech people. They know what I mean. AI runs on Kubernetes, predominantly. It's the technology of the future. And Ruphasoft is built on Kubernetes. So what are the advantages of Kubernetes? What does it edge out the other technologies? So it's a self-healing kind of an infrastructure. It utilizes resources extremely well. So when you talk about cloud costs, Kubernetes basically delivers that in drops. It saves you a lot of costs. There is ability to do a lot of automation as well. The tasks that you would normally do, employ somebody to have them stand by in case a server goes down, in case there's a problem with the server. This goes away because of automation. You can automate with Kubernetes very, very well. It's future-proof, and that's why we have adopted it. Ruphasoft is based off from an open source framework. The open source framework is an ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning System. It has all the necessary components to operate any business. We added on top of it Ruphasoft, HMIS, which is what now we call the basic HMIS. So within the HMIS, you have all these other components like customer relationship management module, you have sales distribution management, purchase management, manufacturing, if at all you're doing that, asset management, inventory management, and all these other things. It is very agile. It is very heavy on accounting, and that is why we chose it, because a lot of our problems are revolving around accounts and inventory, which we shall see in a short while. So the other bit that I wanted to share with you today is that all our sites that are running on Ruphasoft, they are all siloed. There is no sharing of database. There is no sharing of hard disk space. Everything is siloed. Everything is individualized. A hospital will not share the same space with another hospital. Everything is individualized. This is specifically so that we can encrypt your data, that we can do all these things that are required from us by law, like retrieving your data in case you want to do away with it or something like that. So it's microservices infrastructure. Basically, we have a lot of services that make up Ruphasoft, as you can see in the green space below the sites, right? So I'll just skip this over. It's not something that is our forte, just important to know. So what does it take to deploy a HMIS like Ruphasoft? I like to draw a parallel with an apparel factory. So for you to be able to know, if Ruphasoft fits you, you need to know the options. You need to know what kind of clothing are available. So like you see there's a trouser, there's a blazer, there's whatnot. You need to know that these are existing, yeah? Then you also need to understand your own needs. Once you internalize your own process, you need to understand how each process affects you in what way. So similarly with an apparel factory, you need to know the measurements, you need to know the colors. And then you also need to adapt to the solutions that are out there, or adapt or adopt, basically. Then you realize a perfect fit. So in a similar fashion, Ruphasoft, you need to understand what flavors we have, what fits your business, and then you go on to understand the needs of your business, do a bit of adjustments here and there, you either adapt or adopt, and then you have your deployment as a success. I'll just briefly go over the different workflows that we have, starting with the procurement workflow. The workflow that we have is a very standard workflow in any procurement setup, where you have an internal LPO request note, then that is processed forward through a purchase order, then a purchase receipt is realized after that, a purchase invoice, and then finally a payment entry. I will not delve so much into that. Just to point out that I am rushing through this, but the reason for that is that we have a booth. We will be doing a lot of demos from this point onwards. So please pass by the booth. You check out the Rupha look and feel. The next workflow is medical workflow. It's a scary looking workflow, but just to put an emphasis on why it looks scary, it's simplified in a sense. The reason why it looks like this is because we employ something called continuous billing. Some of you may be aware what that is. So continuous billing, basically, as these services are consumed at different points in a hospital, these bills are updated automatically. So that's what continuous billing means. And it is centered and predominantly centered around patient prescription. You would understand everything in a hospital is prescribed. Whatever that is prescribed. Of course, meals, they come by the nature of human being, but everything else is prescribed. So it starts from the point of prescription, and there's an automated system we call credit control unit that picks up all these issues, the insurance bits, the terms of these insurances, and it works out what to do with each prescription. HR workflow. For most of the hospitals that operate with 40 plus, 30 plus employees, you would understand it's a bit of a problem to manage such a huge staff. So with RufaSoft, that goes away completely. It is quite robust. You talk of the entire employee journey, or even before you get that employee, you can plan, you can do your staffing request internally, do proper budgeting around that, do a job opening, job applications are received in, then you do interviews, several rounds of interviews, and all this is captured along the way in RufaSoft. And that goes all the way until an employee exits the institution. So in summary, the payment workflow basically collects all these different workflows that I've showed you into that spaghetti mesh there you see there. But most importantly, RufaSoft uses double entry bookkeeping. So you have your credit and your debit. Everything operates in that way. Your inventory operates in that way. Your cash flows operates in that way. So everything around accounts is a double entry bookkeeping. RufaSoft has over time developed different partnerships, different certifications. As you can see, we in cognizance of the developing the new dispensation in the bills, we had to take cognizance of what is changing in the bills and adopt according to those clauses in the bill. So we have adopted a model to run on KNHTS. KNHTS is Kenya National Health Terminology Services. Dr. Ryan Nyotu was to come here to speak about that. So this is essentially everything that is medical is coded. So you're talking about structured data. Structured data is where everything is coded. Everything has a tag, has a name, has a code name. So you talk about, descriptive information like sick for 2 weeks. That is coded. Like, medication is coded. HOB, that is coded. Anything else that is medical is coded. Up to frequency, forms of medication, and beyond. So Kenya National Health Terminology Services have come up with this data set, a corpus of data that we have built Rupha on top. And we are working very closely with the ministry to improve on this service, to build, to help others also build on this service. We are also capable of integrating with SNOMED CT, that's another terminology service, ICD, ICD-10, ICD-11, and FIRE, which is based off on HL7. FIRE is the new language that the government is trying to adopt. So basically this is, you know, when you want to connect two hospital systems, you talk of the information that you want to exchange. Some hospitals would call augmentin, is it ciprofloxacin? I'm not a medic, so. So some will call it augmentin. So if you send augmentin to that other hospital, and they recognize it, I mean the computer recognizes it as ciprofloxacin, then it will clash, of course, because it will not recognize that medication, right? So you have to have a common language for computers to speak with each other. And that's why the government is coming up with this fast healthcare resources for interoperability, FIRE. And we are primed to use this service as well. We are part of the conversation going forward with the Ministry of Health. In terms of security, we have taken a great deal of effort in terms of securing this data that we keep. The framework itself that we are using is ISO 27001 certified. We have role-based access controls. We have other measures that we've taken, which I'm not going to go into detail. But what is important for you to understand is that data is backed up every day. Credit to AWS for availing this service to us. Every day, without me doing anything, the data is being backed up. And recovery of it is instant, is seamless. Right. So I need to move fast. We got a green light from the ODPC recently to go ahead with RufaSoft. And I think we can take credit because not many HMISs do have that. We have it. So in summary, these are the many things that RufaSoft offers. I'll just point them out. We have the very robust stock management module. We are treating the hospital with cost centers within the entire institution. It's very adaptable. Account visibility is very, very good. You have a very robust human resource module, an asset management module for those who are keen to follow up on their assets. And it's primed for standardization and integration. Moving forward, these are the sites that we have so far released in different development stages, deployment stages. So I'll move straight to the future. We are currently working on a few things. The left side is what we are soon to release. We are perfecting the basic HMIS offering. At the same time, we are also soon to announce eTeams integration. On top of that, we have M-Pesa mobile wallets that we are going to employ. We also are today announcing a partnership with Huron AI. Thanks to AWS, they've introduced to us a very, reliable and very strong partner in Huron. So we'll be signing something today to that effect. And in the near future, we also want to integrate with DHIS and all these other payer providers, NHIS, Smart, MTBA, and the like. We will also be developing LIS integration, that is Lab Information System integration. Also, additional to that, radiology and teleradiology at the same time. We also will be employing AI medical assist through AWS services and cancer care modules as well. So this is what is there in the short term and in the medium term. So our development process is quite lengthy. And the reason for that is because we want to deploy software that is tested, that is robust, that is, purpose fit. It takes a bit of time for us to have reached where we are. It took us something close to a year and a half, and we still have far to go. So it's an important point for us to recognize. The reason for that is because we need your help. We need a lot of your help. And that is by way of you investing in Rupha. It's very rare for somebody to offer you a solution and also offer you the opportunity to invest in it. You've heard Dr. Gakombe mentioned about why it is very important for you to be in the front line. And you can never be more in the front line with a technology like Rupha. So we are welcoming members to invest in Rupha, and we are looking to raise 5 million initially for the first year. And this is to enable us to fast track to the premium services that will enable this software to be self-sustaining. Because as it is available free of service to members, to current members, to fully paid up members. So these 5 million will go towards human capital and fast tracking this process of deployment and training and every other activity around this. I'm being rushed here, but I have our booth over at the corner. We shall discuss some more on this. As I say, thank you for listening. I know it's not our plate. Technologies not for the faint-hearted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Please appreciate him as Shadrach comes. Thank you very much. We'll have a question and answer session after Shadrach is done. Karibu sana. Shadrach is from Amazon Web Services, and he's next. Thanks. Shadrach will be presenting on leveraging cloud technologies to improve health services.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shadrach Anyuo. I'm a Senior Solutions Architect with AWS. First of all, thank you for the opportunity for us to be able to engage and present on the value of technology within the healthcare sector. By a way of introducing AWS, we've been in the market for close to 18 years plus, and we do offer organizations within the health sector, public sector, commercial entities, cloud services. We currently have over 100,000 partners. We do have close to 3,500 new features of services, and over 1 million customers are actually running their services on top of AWS. Our team from the health portfolio, we do have a team of industry experts, people who really understand healthcare more than I do. I'm an expert in technology, and I believe that if I pronounce anything wrongly about healthcare, please pardon me. But behind my back, we do have a team of professionals who actually speak the language that doctors and medical professionals do speak. Based on this experience and the industry expertise, we do identify around 5 key areas to be challenges to the health care providers or the healthcare sector. One of them is cost, and as you can remember from the previous discussion, actually Mohammed was actually asking for funds to be able to develop a solution. It means that the rising cost in delivering not only the technology that delivers the healthcare, but the delivery of the healthcare itself is a costly affair, and most of health organizations can actually struggle to be able to invest in the right technology when delivering healthcare. We're also seeing a shortage in workforce and skill gap when it comes to technology that basically powers our healthcare. We are seeing a lot of concerns around the technology being resilient and being able to cope with the demand and provide the right security mechanisms that comply with privacy laws and regulations provided by the industry regulators. And in some cases also, we are seeing a lot of concerns or challenges around sustainability. Most healthcare providers want to become sustainable as they provide these services to the general public. Now, how do we address this from a cloud perspective? AWS provides an infrastructure that complies to most of international standards. And what it means is that when you run your services on AWS, you're more or less 50% compliant with industry standards, be it HIPAA, FedRAMP, or even GDPR. And what it means is that from where you sit or from where an organization sits, you only need to implement the 50% based on the system that you run on AWS and the data that you basically bring inside AWS. Availability and durability, we do have services that give a very strong durability in terms of resiliency. We have a physical infrastructure that spans the world. We have what we call close to 99 availability zones backed by 31 regions. And what it means, and these regions are basically clustered around the world. In Africa, we have one in Cape Town, and we have a couple basically in Europe. In Kenya, we do have an infrastructure. We have what we call an edge location. We do have a local zone that's coming in, and a local zone in a very high level term is basically a small data center. From a cost reduction perspective, we do offer a different cost management models within the cloud that enables an health organization to be able to look into their cost, optimize their cost while they run on AWS. And then the elasticity and agility gives you the ability to be able to innovate fast because most of the services that basically runs in the cloud, some of them are self-managed by the AWS, and it means that you have more time to think through on the business case and the use case, and that makes you become more innovative. Data, like they said, is the new oil. We do provide mechanisms that enable you to be able to have insights into data through high-level technologies like machine learning and artificial intelligence. If you heard about generative AI, we do provide capability that allows you not only to build your own models, but to take advantage of the existing models that enable you to either do image recognition, read doctor reports, convert those reports into text, and be able to pick key information out of those documents. And this already, we provide them via APIs, and you can be able to connect to them, and you pay for only what you use. What it means, it basically reduces the development curve that probably a small startup or a small institution might not be having the right resources to be able to do that. So we do provide that. And the beauty with this is the capability around data access and data governance and the services that we provide around storage, replication, backup, and disaster recovery to help you manage your data. So from a health perspective, where do we play? We actually have solutions that we've worked together with our partners in the industry around healthcare, around genomics, and around life sciences, what we call the biopharma. And if you start by looking at the health solutions, we have solutions that enable you to be able to manage clinical information systems, that is looking into health records, medical imaging, clinical genomics, analytics, and machine learning. And when you talk about data, like they said that data is the gold, you need to be able to drive insights into that data. One way of doing this is to be able to power models that can either build forecasting capability, predictability, and give you insights either into the future of your data or to give you patterns that helps you to be able to make decisions faster from the data that you have. From patients and clinician experience, we do have ability to be able to give you capabilities around virtual care and patients, clinical experiences. From medical research, we have clinical research services that helps in support of processing of huge, for example, genomic data, and I'll be able to demonstrate that in a short while. From finance and operation, every organization that's making money, you have to know where your money goes, and you have to know how your money comes in. Now, technology gives you ability to be able to keep track of those as money comes in, the movement of cash, whether it is in the supply chain or procurement, or whether it is in buying other things that basically makes the operation run. And then the core health IT, basically what Rupha has demonstrated is a solution that basically works within the core IT by not only providing the payment, but you can also be able to build a solution that manages the care aspect from the time a patient visits a facility to the time that they leave the facility and the prescriptions that they've been given. A classical example is we basically worked with Australian Unity to improve clinical outcomes, and what they did was something called Internet of Knees. So what happened was that they realized that some of their patients who had problems that required physiotherapy, the physical exercises, were not following the procedures that was being set by the doctors. So what did they do? They actually used IoT, Internet of Things, data analytics capability, and machine learning by actually developing a sensor that's attached to the knee. The sensor is connected to a mobile application and will track the movement of the person, and from that, it will be able to create a graph that the medical practitioner can be able to have a view whether the patient is actually following the routine that was actually prescribed. And this demonstrates the power of technology and the power of cloud, because most of the services that you're seeing here do not require any deployment anywhere, do not require a lot of learning curve, because most of the heavy lifting has been done by Amazon Web Services. If I move to genomic solutions, when it comes to transferring of data, I know when people are doing clinical trials, there's a lot of data that's being generated. If you are into research of new medicine, there's a lot of data that's being generated. This data need to be stored. This data need to be data mined. And for you to be able to do that, you need a scalable storage solution or service that allow you to be able to keep all this data with the right governance and the right security. And that is something that we do offer, right from how that data is being captured, either from sensors or from business, line of business systems into durable storage. When you talk of workflow automation for secondary analysis, data aggregation and governance, interpretation and ML for secondary analysis, clinical translation, those are things that you can be able to do. One of the things that we've seen, again, in terms of those amount of data, there's a lot of data that's being generated, and most of this data basically go unused. So what it means is that we need to provide a mechanism on which you can be able to keep this data, determine this data, and drive value out of it. The next part is on biopharma solution areas. This is on the research and discovery, clinical development, manufacturing and supply chain, commercial medication, security and compliance. We do have sets of solutions that basically, and we do work with biopharmas. Classical example, we actually do remember COVID. What Moderna did through AI and ML solution provided by AWS, they were able to sequence and release the first batch of their COVID-19 vaccine just within 27 days. And that actually demonstrates the power of artificial intelligence and machine learning in clinical trials and drug development. Apart from that, we do have specific systems that you can be able to tap into. These are basically provided has already developed systems that you not only need to communicate them via the API. We have what we call Amazon Omics, which basically transforms genomic, transcriptomic, and other omic data into insights. We have Amazon Health Lake for imaging analytics, and analytics provides a complete view for individual data or patient population health data. And you basically keep this in a durable storage. You can analyze this data, run analytics on it, use it to train models, and use those models to be able to predict issues around population health. We have Amazon Comprehend Medical, which understands medical context using natural language processing. And then we also have Amazon Transcribe, which automatically converts the medical speech or medical data from speech to text. This is something that doctors can be able to use to capture conversations between a doctor and a patient and convert that to text and be consumed or stored for data mining purposes. Now, our mission for the healthcare is to enable access and delivery of personal-centered healthcare, drive improved outcomes at a lower cost, and accelerate the digitization and utilization of healthcare data. How do we achieve this? We can help you to be able to accelerate transformation of healthcare. We fuel innovation and enable you to be able to get insights into your data. We enable seamless care delivery by providing mechanisms that allows you to be able to track patients from the time of admission to the time that they actually dispense drugs and they go home, and even build mechanisms to be able to track them as they recover. And then we enable national and regional strategies around healthcare. In terms of how we champion innovation in healthcare, this is very important. If you can't remember anything that I've said here, just remember this last slide. We do have Health Equity Initiative, where we actually fund health startups to a tune of $250,000. You need to apply and demonstrate how you are solving a particular health challenge within the society. If you go online and just type on Google or any other search engine of preference, AWS Health Equity Initiative, it will take you to that page. It takes you around 20 minutes to be able to fill that, and some group of people will look at what you failed to be able to show whether you've qualified. We are also having a diagnostic development initiative, which is a technical support that we do provide. And then we also have the Healthcare Accelerator, which is basically a training and mentorship program that we run with the group of professionals that I talked about. And this can enable you to be able to help all of us address the issue of healthcare in the world. Thank you very much, and thanks for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Shadrach. Let's appreciate him once again. He's told us about equity, accelerate, and development initiatives, and let's try and plug into those. So in the interest of time, please stay there, and we'll need Mohammed as well for Q&A session. I would like to open up for a question.
Yeah, just bear with us, Kidogo. We have a guest who needs to also speak. Dr. Floria from Huron. Karibu. She will also speak.
Okay. Karibu sana, Daktari. How many minutes? Just 2 minutes. Okay. 2 minutes. That's a challenge, but you'll make it.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Flora Nyanda. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. This is an ambush. I think I'm prepared, but I'm representing Dr. Kingsley Ndo, who's the founder and CEO of Huron AI, which is a medtech startup based in Seattle. And we're actually collaborating with AWS as well as Rupha, who we are onboarding as one of initial partners within Kenya. And so what the company does is to improve precision cancer care And this, I mean, we are trying to work with healthcare providers, that is oncologists, doctors, and nurses, to be able to connect with their patients and follow them up even when they're at home, to just monitor how they're doing in terms of their treatment, especially for those patients who are in chemotherapy. So you just need to have a phone and you'll be connected with the healthcare providers. And for us as healthcare providers, we can be able to see what is happening with our doctors, with our patients, and see how best we can interact with them. And during one of the sessions, we talked about using our data to improve our outcomes. And so this is what we're using to improve our patient-reported outcomes. And overall, we also want to build our capacity as Africans and even as Kenyans to be able to have data that we can bring the right treatment for our patients. So we're very fortunate to have Rupha on board. As John Maxwell says, everything rises and falls with leadership, and I'm really happy to see that the Secretariat and the leadership of Rupha is very visionary, and we're looking forward to working with them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Daktari. Can I have help, please, so that they can have some seats in front? Please stay in front as well. I want to give an opportunity. We've heard about RufaSoft, AWS, and what Daktari has presented. Questions? Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Precise.
Yeah, so my name is Dr. Stephen Ojwang from Premier Care Hospital. Glad to be here. This is something I'm very passionate about, and thanks Mohammed and the team from AWS as well for that very elaborate presentation. I think RufaSoft is something that we really need, we are looking forward to, and is the future of medicine, like Dr. Gakombe said. So one of the things that I'm very passionate about is the customer journey, because we know that what is happening is that, as was shared earlier today in the morning, about the pregnant mother and the journey that she has to go through to be able to access quality health care, is a long journey, and that's the same story with our patients. They take a lot of time between various facilities and various hospitals. And as part of that, and also in line with what is happening with the current, with the incoming, with the SHA, and also the new government policy with regards to primary health care, we know that there'll be a very big role for primary health care, especially across the referral systems. So my question is, what are your thoughts about integrating the customer journey, especially with in the private hospital setting? We're in a place whereby we'll need a lot of referrals from the different, whether we like it or not, we'll need to work with the community health volunteers. And it's a strategy that the earlier we adopt it, the better. Because for both up and then downward referral, that is something that I believe RufaSoft should strongly look into, so that, as the clients come, how are we able to integrate and see what Dr. Olwenyi was sharing in the morning? How near is the client closest to me? If I'm a level 4, for example, how quickly can they get to me before they get to a level 2 that is far away? How can we integrate that into Rufa? And then at the same RufaSoft. And then the other thing is about the feedback mechanisms, because if for a chronic disease patient, nobody calls them to find out how they're doing. Can we also think about the patient, even as we provide a holistic solution? Can we think of integrating that as part of the solution using the AWS-backed software to be able to provide a solution? Because at the end of the day, we are here to provide a solution for our clients, and I believe this is a very noble thing that you're doing. Congratulations. I think just to throw back the challenge back to you, I don't know if you've thought about it, but I think it's something that could really make a difference and a great impact. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Second gentleman, please. Any other question? Okay.
I am a guesser from Busia. My first question goes to Mr. Shadrach, and I noticed somewhere you talked about promoting invasion and funding invasion, right? And somewhere along the line, Mohamud talked about seeking funding of 5 million. So Could you qualify him so that he doesn't have to seek money from us?
Okay.
And secondly, to Muhammad, while you're talking about procurement and how it works on Rufasoft, I was thinking, do you have it in your plans to have the procurement tab include an online shopping for drugs, let's say in partnership with RDA, in that when a facility is on its procurement tab, it can actually go all the way to purchasing? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The lady?
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Priscilla Maina, lead radiologist, KPN Teleradiology. So, and I'm also the director, PAL Hospital. So I'll start with the question that pertains radiology. So I've seen that there are plans to integrate Rufasoft to get a radiology module. I hope among the plans would be something to integrate the machines, the packs, so that you're able to get the images into the system, even as you work on the reporting module and all. And maybe you should consider partnering with AWS to get cloud storage also for images, since they are quite heavy. Then, and in addition to that, also integration with lab equipment, such that you're able to get your results directly to Rufasoft from the machine. Then the other question is about it as an ERP for the hospital, where you find that probably you have another ERP or HMIS. Is there a capability to migrate whatever you have, the data you have, into Rufasoft so that you can proceed on Rufasoft? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll take those questions to begin with in the interest of time. And Mohammed, please start.
Yeah, thank you. Allow me to be standing. I'm setting up something here as well. So I'll start with the integration question that the gentleman asked. So I just want to understand the level of integration that you wanted Rufasoft to have. I didn't quite understand the question. But just to cover it, we are in a new dispensation. The government is actually taking charge of the healthcare agenda in this country. You've heard of PCNs, you've heard of the primary healthcare and all these other things that they're trying to implement. So as Rufasoft, we have to work with that. We have to work with what the regulations are putting up. And we can't preempt it until we see how it works. Then we can be able to know what solutions we can provide. I don't know if that answers the question, but we are closely working with the MOH, especially on the Kenya National Health Data Services, terminology services. We are the only private hospital, private HMIS that is working with them. And that's a testimony itself. And they're relying wholly on us to make this UHC journey a success. So I think we are better placed to integrate with whatever it is that comes our way. The seeking funding and AWS offering funding. I think hiyo tutachukua nyuma ya tent, right? But the opportunity here is